from the soul with it. Yeah.
So Shaquille O'Neal says LeBron James' book is already set and he doesn't need to chase rings anymore. Shaq, what are you talking about, bro? What are you saying? So Shaquille O'Neal recently did an interview on ESPN radio with Ian Bagley. His statements were, "Somebody told me a long time ago. They say your book is already set before the later stages of your career. You can add index pages toward the end, but your book is already set. So LeBron's book is already set," O'Neal said. "He done already passed up legends. He done already made his mark. He has 3 rings. His mentality now is probably, I want to get 4 before Golden State Warriors guard Steph Curry does," which should be his goal. I mean, like, who would just say, hey man, I want to, just sit back and I just want to, just watch the Golden State Warriors and all these other teams win championships, and, I should just sit in the house and, go to Sunset Boulevard and let's go to Santa Monica Pier and just watch the moon all night and not worry about rings. Like, who thinks like that? Like, no, man, I don't care about championships and I shouldn't chase championships. No. Okay, let me just keep reading. So he said that's probably his mentality now. But if I was him, which you're not, I wouldn't be trying to get 4, 5, and 6 because it ain't going to matter. Yes, it will. It's just something else to talk about. Okay, the 3 rings that he got were something to talk about. And even if he didn't get those rings, that would give them more fuel to the fire and give them something more to talk about because he wouldn't have any rings. And it'd be kind of like a disappointment. As a player, as a competitor, everybody wants more rings. Like, your career is determined by championships. A conversation. And I know a lot of people be like, well, Bill Russell had all these many rings and MJ had 6. Does that mean he's better than... Like, we already know that MJ was a better scorer. He was a more potent scorer. His all-around game was a lot better than Bill Russell. We know that MJ, in terms of marketing, that's just another level. His brand, it's no question. But what MJ did for the game, totally different than the way he earned his championships versus Bill Russell. Now, that's not to take anything away from Bill Russell. But it should just be about championships, People just measure you for championships, Like Michael Jordan said, who's better between Kobe and LeBron? He said he likes 5 better than 3, And it's just championships. You should want to win as many championships as you can, and you should chase championships. I mean, I don't think Kobe wanted Pau Gasol, and, I don't think Kobe wanted to get better after Shaq left to just go to the playoffs every year. I'm pretty sure he wanted to win a championship. That's on every player's mind. Oh, Shaq, bro. You went to get a championship with the Boston Celtics. In the latter stages of your career, don't act like you wasn't ring chasing, bruh. Okay? I know you was trying to get a championship ring with the Boston Celtics. They was stacked. I know you was old. You was eating a lot of ho-hos and jelly beans and twisted donuts, okay? Hershey Sunday pies from Burger King, okay? Now, I know you was ring chasing, bruh. I know you was ring chasing when you was with LeBron James, okay? So, for you to tell this man to not ring chase, you sound like a hypocrite, bruh. But anyway, I want to continue reading. So he said, it's just something else to talk about, something else to add to the pages. He's a legend, talked about as who is the best between he and Michael Jordan. So he's set. So I read earlier today on NBC Sports that if LeBron James averages 25 points per game for the rest of his career, for the next 4 years, he could go down as the all-time leading scorer, which means he would surpass Kareem. And ironically, Kareem retired as a Laker. He was a Laker. So LeBron James is now with the Lakers, and he has a chance to surpass the all-time scorer and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And adding more rings to that adding more rings gives you more, increases your status. It gives you more to talk about. It gives you more to talk about. And that's what's important. The more rings you can get, the better. And obviously it would be a challenge. But just think of how much easier of a chance you would have if you could defeat a tall task like the Golden State Warriors, right? So if it's easier for him, he already got to the Eastern Conference so easy, that he already got to the Eastern Conference Finals and the NBA Finals so easily. The tougher challenge is the Golden State Warriors. So if I'm in the West and I defeat them in the Western Conference, that's the biggest challenge right there. Now, getting to the finals, I ain't gonna do nothing but keep messing my record up if I lose. But I have nothing to lose if I'm playing them in the Western Conference Finals. And if I defeat, that's the only team that I really have to worry about. So if I can make Brandon Ingram better, Kyle Kuzma better, Josh Hart better, and just think that you're able to lift these guys up and defeat that Golden State Warriors team, you're going to have a much easier time in the finals if you were playing, like, let's say the Celtics, or possibly playing, you know, the Toronto Raptors, which you've swept every year in the Eastern Conference Finals, or the Eastern Conference. So you're going to have a much easier time getting to the finals and playing them, opposed to beating them easily in the East and then getting to the finals and getting swept every year. So you could get swept in the Western Conference and it's like, it's either hit or miss. It's like you have nothing really to lose. But as a player, my honest opinion is you should always want to chase championships. I mean, who wouldn't want more rings? And if he could get 6 rings, it could create more of a conversation. It would make people say, well, because it's always going to be, well, he got 4 and he got 6, or he got 3 and he got 6. Michael, they're always going to say that. So if LeBron could potentially get 6, there's a lot of predictions that he is going to get an MVP this year. So that's 5 MVPs to tie with Jordan. But then there's also another championship that you could win. And then, I mean, he could actually defeat the Golden State Warriors so much that it could cause them to break up, because you got defeated by LeBron James, and losing, everything goes good when you win it. You seen the Warriors broke up after they lost. So when people start to lose, that's when you see their true character and you see what happens. So LeBron could be that wedge, or he could be that the piece that actually forced, let's say, Klay Thompson to go over there just to piss off the Golden State Warriors and get a valuable asset and take that away from them and add that to him, and then he could get more rings, and then he could be in the conversation if that's what he's trying to do. So I don't agree with Shaq. I think that LeBron James, him winning more rings, would make the book that much better. You know, I understand that you want to have pieces in there of, oh man, I moved to LA and, you know, I started I opened a pizza restaurant, and, you know, the slices of cheese, the cheese was sliding off the pizza. If he's able to defeat this Golden State Warriors team as stacked as they are, it will put him in the conversation that much more, because he's able to defeat a team with 4 All-Stars and 2 top players in the NBA right now, and Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, who is arguably the greatest shooter of all time, and Kevin Durant, who's the best scorer of all time. So if you have 4 championships, defeating a 73-9 team, a team that they beat the Bulls record, you were able to defeat that team. And then on top of that, you were able to defeat a stacked team like that. Now you have 4 rings, all-time leading scorer, 5 MVPs. You took a team who was at the bottom, took them to the finals, won the championship. You got 4 rings. You don't have to win 2, but the chances of you winning 2 and stealing some of their best players and being that kryptonite or stealing a piece of their formula could kind of put you in the conversation as the greatest of all time.